Our guest today, Dr. Gregory Bottaro, who, as we mentioned, is a Catholic psychologist and founder of the CatholicPsych Institute and a leading voice on integrating our faith with psychology. And his new book, The Power of Listening Well, it offers a practical wisdom for building stronger relationships and engaging others in meaningful conversations, which is rooted in the faith, compassion, and a genuine understanding of one another. So, Dr. Bottaro, welcome to Catholic TV. Welcome to This Is the Day.
Thanks so much. It's great to be here with y'all.
Yes, it's wonderful to be with you. And I'd love to hear from you. What helps a conversation about faith truly reach someone's heart instead of pushing them away?
Yeah, it's really about presence. It's really about being with people. God built a desire for communion into our hearts, and when we are present with each other, it kind of unlocks the closed door in a person's heart. And it's through this presence, which practically looks like listening. It looks like curiosity. It looks like attention, that we find that key that can unlock those really difficult conversations or that hardness of heart.
What's a shift someone can make in the moment that can turn a conversation into something meaningful?
You know, the first really impactful, powerful shift is self-awareness. And when we get into this sort of I have to defend my position at all costs, we kind of lose sight of the fact that we're even doing it. But when we have that sense that this is the mode I'm in, it almost gives us the superpower to unhinge from that mode. And we get access to a deeper human freedom to choose how to actually be with other people. So we do a lot of practice of self-awareness first to kind of build that skill. And then we can see ourselves acting a certain way. And when we realize, I'm really just defending myself, my position right now, that's the first step. And then when we have that awareness, then we have to believe in the goodness of actually letting go of defending oneself. And that can be really hard when we really believe in the truth that we are defending. It's not just myself, I'm defending the truth. Maybe sometimes if we're talking about matters of faith or morals. But again, we have to step back and see that there is a good in listening and curiosity and exploring and understanding. And that is going to do far more to get your position into the sort of viewable area of the other person than any argument you can come up with.
Absolutely. I feel like the hardest context for that is when it's with someone that you really love and they've drifted away from their faith or the truth. And I'd love to hear from you. How can we hold on to hope when it seems like that person's heart is closed?
Yeah, it's when most is on the line, the people that we really care about. And that sort of it triggers our own defenses even more because, we do love others like ourselves. It's like our own defense mechanisms get activated for the sake of others when we think that other people's faith or future or eternal life is on the line. And so, the hope is in all things, we have to follow the example of Christ. And when we see the way Jesus approached people who were lost in whatever way they were, he almost always approached people with this sense of holy curiosity and holy listening. It's this model he gives us to approach people, the woman at the well, the sinners that he encountered along the way, the woman caught in sin that he saved from stoning. Like all of these examples, it's like his curiosity is sparked, his attention is sparked. He doesn't come in like a bull in a china shop, ready to shut people down and convince them they're wrong and the fire of conviction and all these dispositions that unfortunately we find ourselves falling into probably a lot more than the sort of gentle, compassionate, and curious disposition.
You talk about some of the things, in this world, we talk about people, it's almost like an art form to be able to listen nowadays. But what are the key things that you'd like a person to walk away with after they read this book?
It is an art form and it takes practice. I've put into the pages of this book, we have every chapter a free downloadable resource because in my experience, I'm primarily a psychologist and I work with people clinically. So You know, when I write a book, I want to make it work. I want to make it practical and applicable. So every chapter in this book has a free downloadable resource with exercises, with prompts, with journaling exercises, things that you can do to activate the practical parts of your own experience, your brain, and the way that you think, the things you're aware of, to make this actually work. So what I hope people walk away from is an inspiration to the possibility of a different way to approach these conversations, but then also maybe a little motivation and even the tools and resources to go do something about it and start to make these tiny changes.
This is amazing. As someone who loves to journal, I appreciate the downloadable guide. And I'd love to hear, as we're closing up here, where can viewers go to learn more about the power of listening and find your book?
Well, we have our website, our main website, CatholicPsych.com. And that's got information about all of our resources, all of the work that we do. And the Power of Listening Well specifically is listed on Amazon. It's also listed on Sophia. They're the publisher, so you could find it in those places.
Wonderful. Well, our viewers have seen it. Go to sophiainstitute.com for the book itself and CatholicPsych.com for more of Dr. Bottaro and his amazing work. But thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your book with us.
Oh, thanks so much for having me. God bless you.
Of course. God bless you as well.